What's going on? I just wanted to share an experience I've had. So Nastasia told me about that we're entering Mercury Retrograde, and I knew about it a bit, what it means, not so in depth. So I searched about it. Just because yesterday I had such a impactful day, I can't say negatively, but I would say very challenging, where a lot of things were not going the way I wanted them to go. And I would love to hear or know if any of you that are watching this video have had something similar day. So I searched about it a little bit, and then as I find out, we entered Mercury retrograde yesterday, March 15th, which is crazy because of the things that were happening to me yesterday. And just a little bit of what happened. There were a lot of little things that were just super what? So the little things were like, I'm getting something from the fridge, and then I wanted to make it in a way that I get it safely, but then everything falls and spills. Or I'm trying to reach for my shoe, and then I hit the nerve on my elbow, amongst other things. Actually, I want to show this video. I want to show this video of this guy explaining, and then I will explain what happened to me. So this is just a video off YouTube. I can leave the link if you want to also understand a bit more. This is the astrological side, because there's also the one that does not. So,
or misunderstanding what the other said for some reason. Another major theme with Mercury retrogrades is delays and setbacks, where Mercury, when it goes retrograde, it goes really slow and it almost stops in the middle of the sky, and it takes a while for it to get going and to pick up speed again. So as a result of that, sometimes you see delays with things happening around the time of Mercury retrogrades. So delays, there can also be detours where you're going to a specific destination, but instead of being able to go straight there, you end up having to take a detour and go somewhere else first before reaching your final destination. That's a very common theme. Another theme is setbacks. So you can be working on something, but then all of a sudden there'll be a setback that will cause the project to take much longer than it should have taken normally. So it can be kind of a frustrating time. And I think that's one of the themes that people often associate with Mercury retrograde, is the feeling of frustration as a result of these delays and these miscommunications. Other things, things taking longer than expected, things slowing down. So if things have been moving at a brisk pace and you're kind of expecting things to keep moving quickly, suddenly you can find yourself almost in quicksand where everything's taking longer than you expected, which can be very frustrating and very annoying. I mentioned another major category is technological challenges. So especially in ancient astrology, Mercury was one of the primary planets of technology, and you can run into technological snafus, technological malfunctions. People run into issues with like computers breaking down or cars breaking down, and having just these weird things that come up all of a sudden that require you to either fix the issue or to replace the thing that broke down is a really common theme. Another major theme is travel disruptions. So Mercury is the planet of travel. It's the fastest moving planet in the solar system. So Mercury, when it goes retrograde, sometimes can lead to these major travel disruptions where like your airplane trip gets canceled, you're driving on a road trip and you have like a tire that goes out or something that causes you to, miss a date or miss an obligation you're trying to get to. So one of the things that astrologers do sometimes is if they have to travel during a Mercury retrograde, they'll kind of like anticipate that there may be some delays or some travel issues and not schedule things too tightly because they're sort of anticipating the possibility of these travel disruptions. But Mercury retrograde periods are also, can coincide with a period of reflection and introspection, and especially going back to and revisiting the past. Because astronomically, Mercury, when it goes retrograde, it turns around and then it starts retracing its steps, and it goes back to a point in the past or back to a point in the zodiac that it already visited earlier. So as a result of that, symbolically, Mercury retrogrades can coincide with a period of you, if that retrograde is important, revisiting the past or having things or people or situations from the past come back into your life for some reason. So encounters with people from the past sometimes.
okay, crazy. So I think that is, first of all, crazy. Second of all, then I wanted to share what happened to me yesterday. As I was saying, it was very hard. No, very hard. I also took in a way that usually if these things happen, I get more stressed about. Yesterday, just because of my living situation at the moment, I'm living in a van and I roll my ankle, so I can't walk. I'm alone because Anastasia is in UK, and I just accepted. I'm not too much of a So, but then going back to what happened, the bigger things that happened was that since I'm living in a van, I've been in a parking lot because I can use Wi-Fi, and I've been using internet a lot, so I'm not moving much. Maybe not the first thing, but one of the things that happened was that it was hotter yesterday, which was nice. The sun was out, so I turned the key on of the van. I put down the windows to get a little air, and then I'm here doing my things, listening to loud music, and I hear like a beep, beep, beep from far away. Sometimes you feel like the song that you're listening to has sounds that are a part of your life. So I thought that was one. Sometimes an alarm or something like that. So I kept listening to it, and then the noise kept going with the other songs. So then I paused it, and then I looked in front, and then my battery monitor was the one that was beeping. And then I realized that I left the key on for God knows how long. But thankfully, in the parking lot I was in, there was a lot of people, and I also have the cables to jumpstart. So I go outside limping with my broomstick as my crutch. I put the cables already nearly connected so someone can just come and like help me. It takes me about 20 to 30 minutes to get someone to actually come. I asked many people, a lot of people are just like understandably have something else to do, but also to jumpstart the car, it takes literally 5 minutes once you put the car in front of it. It's very fast. And I knew that was a problem, that the battery was dead. Is it still recording? Yes. So then, yeah, I'm asking a lot of people. I even cross the street at some point. I see some people have a car there and they're just sitting. So I'm like, hey, can you help me? I can't do it. And they're like, oh, it's not my car. But then the guy left with the car after. By the way, I'm in Spain, Tarragona, near Barcelona. And then, okay. And then I asked another guy that was parked right next to the van. He seemed like, but then he was willing to help. He didn't bring the car close enough, so I had to put the negative cable in another spot. And then he tried to turn the car on, and I saw there was no energy passing. Then he was like, oh, I think you need a bigger battery to get it. And then I was like, okay, this dude doesn't know anything what he's talking about. So I was like, okay, man, thank you. And then I just sit in the van and I wait for someone else to come. And then an older man passed by, looks at me with the hood open and the cables out. So as he make eye contact, I'm like, ah! And then I come out and then he was like, oh yeah, sure. He brings in, boom, 5 minutes. I have a battery again on my van. He also showed that they didn't have any diesel, which got me scared. And I'm like, oh my God, I need to go drive somewhere and get diesel. Even though last time I drove, I'm pretty sure it was almost half full. So there's one thing about technology that he said, which is funny how it correlates to it, to what he's explaining the Mercury retrograde is. It was the first time that battery of the van ever was empty like that. Okay, I can drive, I go put more diesel. Once I put more diesel, measurement shows that it's more than half full again, so it was just a monofunction, whatever. And then as I'm driving, since we live in a van, things tend to fly away everywhere on the turns. So I need to drive very slow, first of all, but sometimes you can't control it. But before we left, then I make sure that everything is okay. I put the bottles of water that I have intact in a way. So I'm driving, like always, some things are going like bloom, 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 because maybe I forgot to put something away. And then at some point I hear something like bloop, that it sound like a bottle fell. I keep driving, and then I arrive at the spot, I come out, and then I look what fell. I see all the bottles intact. I'm like, oh, what fell? And then I look into this bucket of water that I still have there unprofessionally, inappropriately. And, which because I'm icing my foot often, I look and my MacBook, my older MacBook, it's emerged. It simply took a little swim head first, and it was underwater for maybe 1-2 minutes. I take it out, I'm like, oh my god, I like shake it, whatever, and it's not like I spilled, it was literally submerged on water. And then as I'm touching, I'm like, why is it sticky? And then I remember, oh my god, I put salt on the water, like the thick salt. And that's when I thought, oh my god, maybe there would be a miracle where my MacBook would still work if it was just water. But then I also thought I need to open the screws and then let the water out. But I also lost hope there. I was like, oh my god, it's salt, so for sure it's completely gone. And anywho, so that happened. After I did my thing, I came back to the parking lot and I looked for some screw to open it. I'm able to find the one screw that opens two for some reason, but it doesn't open the other ones because it was not the right size as well. I think because it also got oxidated, so because of the salt, the screws were maybe a little more stuck. But at this point, like I can smell like burning and something going like inside, so I'm sure that salt is eating out the motherboard and all the things. Thankfully, that was like my older MacBook. I have a newer one. That one, I had it because some music projects I have, there's some plugins there that I don't have here, and perhaps some documents. I think I backed up most things from that computer, thankfully. But it's ciao ciao cacao for that one. This summer, I thankfully got a newer one because that one was just overheating, crashing, even though it was 2019, not so old, but I was in Brazil with that one. and it was very hot, and I think the hot weather made the computer way worse as well. I tried to sell it, no one bought it, but I thought, well, it's an older MacBook, it would be good to use, but rip. So that was another thing that happened. I would be in another place mentally if it was my new computer, so I'm just thankful that it didn't happen. Also, the day of yesterday, I was thinking, oh my god, Lord is really testing me today. But bring it on. And then the computer took a swim. So, yes, this was very long, but crazy, because then I searched, and then yesterday was the day we entered, and apparently it goes for 3 to 4 weeks. So, what a journey. Yeah, I just want to say, take care of yourselves, watch the video if you want, and check out on the internet what this can mean for you. Sometimes it can mean different things for different people. But yeah, I just wanted to share this story. Insane work. How things are connected, and a lot of times we don't know about what these things can mean. Like, a lot of people don't believe in astrology, but there's nothing to believe. Like, I'm sure energy, power, everything is connected. So super crazy. Also, I rolled my foot very bad, can't walk, and it was doing the thing I love the most. The one thing it did, it got me back to have a better nutrition, because I was eating very badly, honestly, these past weeks. And whenever I'm injured, I'm so in focus to get this injury better that I totally changed my mindset on the food I eat. Action reaction. I was eating so many pastries every day, for example, and now I'm totally okay not having it. It felt like an addiction at some point. I was like, oh, I need a little pastry. But right now, like, far away from wanting a pastry, because I just want to focus on getting my foot better. So this is my story. I haven't been posting on Instagram for a long time. I don't know. I felt like I wanted to keep to myself many things, but I also wanted to share this story and would love to hear what you experienced. See you.